So this is going to be a slightly different review than normal. I have a Diana 48 Springer here, and this is going to be like just a live test / demonstration of 4 different varieties of pellets at 20 meters. So you may have seen one of these guns before. I have never seen or used one with this side lever cocking mechanism on a Springer before, and I really like it. It's a lot of fun to use. What we're going to do is we're going to test 4 varieties of pellets at 20 meters. This first one is the 2.2 Kaisers, and I've obviously had a go with the gun previous to me using it today, right? But the thing that I really like is actually this mechanism. You just pull it back and it's safe because there's no mechanics wanting to push the gun, the sidearm forward. So you are completely safe to take your hand away. Now, I am enjoying using Springers at the moment. And the thing about this Springer is this is the first one that I've used in about 30 years that doesn't have a telescopic sight on it. This has got open or iron sights. So this is a big test of my shooting, really. It's difficult to see, let's put it that way, exactly what it is I'm shooting at. Even at 20 meters away, I'm sort of obscuring the target with the iron sights of the gun. So putting different pellets through it will give you an indication of how it groups with different pellets. And first of all, we have the Kaisers, and they seem to be grouping well. The thing that I really like about this gun is how surprised I am with the whole experience. So I had seen this variety of Springer before at Crackshot, and I'd always kind of avoided them. And that was a mistake. I thought that this system would be difficult to use and not very friendly. That's not the case. It's got a lovely little mechanism for putting the gun back. So there's a safety. You press that little switch down and then you can put the arm back and then you're ready to go. The safety hasn't been disengaged yet, so now we would fire. And I can see just about that there is a pretty good group that's emerging there. I'll do one more with the Kaisers, and then we can go on to the next variety of pellet. Okay, so that's enough of the Kaisers. The next pellet that we're going to be testing is Bisley Long Range Golds. So I'm just going to do the same thing, and I'll be able to talk to you whilst I'm doing it to give you some indication of how I'm finding the gun. Now, this Bisley pellet just went straight into the barrel, into the breech. And it doesn't matter that I'm not hitting the bullseye. What matters is that we can use the bullseye as something to aim for. And it is tiny. When you're looking through this with these open sights, you don't have much to go on. It's way different than using a telescopic scope. But what this is proving is that these guns are accurate. You could definitely improve on this, probably with some more practice. But also what you can do is if you've got the intention of using this for hunting, you wouldn't need anything else other than this gun. At this distance at least. You wouldn't need anything more. So I would guess that if you were taking this out in the field, and assuming that you could get within 20 meters of your quarry, and then you could ensure a safe dispatch, you wouldn't need anything else. And I can see a lovely group opening there. I'll do one more of the long range golds, and then we'll move on to the next variety of pellet. But I'm very impressed with this so far. It's a lovely gun. Alright, I can actually see a good group there, just about. The next kind of pellet that we're going to be looking at, RWS Superfields. So I'll do exactly the same thing. These are lovely and shiny. I do not have any lead-free pellets to test. So we'll do the same thing. Because I very rarely use open sights, I think that I'm still learning a little bit about how exactly you use them, because it doesn't feel like I can be as precise as when I use a scope. Even a low-powered scope. But this does provide you, excuse me, I dropped the pellet in there, with a very, very different sensation. And I can see that it's good. And the idea being that I'll take the best one at 20 meters and I'll take it out to 30 meters and see how I can do at 30 meters. The other thing that I like about this is that you don't need to spend much money. This gun is available for £399 and 52p from my friends at Crackshot. It's still money, still a lot of money, but for not a lot of money, you can be on your way. You wouldn't need anything else other than this. You do have to concentrate more when you're using a Springer. At least I do. But I am enjoying this. I'll do one more, then we'll move on to the last variety of pellet that we're going to be trying. Okay. I'll keep them in order so I remember what I'm referring to. So the last variety of pellet, Air Arms Diabolo Fields. In obviously 2-2. I'll open it up so I don't damage anything. And do the same thing. Maybe put about 10 in that last target. Now these feel as if they're going into the breach a lot smoother than the last varieties. But we'll see. It's surprising how much you have to concentrate doing this. I am going to have you to rescue that target, so please bear with me a second. I don't want to ruin this take because a lot of effort has gone into it, so just bear with me please. That looked good. It would seem these Air Arms pallets suit the gun the best. I can't account for anything yes, but you can see that the actual group is decent. On closer inspection, it might be that this is the pellet that I'll try at 30 meters. But it is looking good. As I said, I'm finding it hard to concentrate, or focus rather, is probably the better word. There does seem to be a nice group emerging. I'll do one more shot, then I'll go and grab the card and see. Right, let me go and grab the card and then we'll see which pellet group the best. The Bisley Long Range Golds group the best. Unexpected. I've never had very good results with that, but so that is a semi-decent group. As I said, it's very difficult to concentrate for an elongated period of time. So the obvious thing to do would be to put a scope on the gun. I'm not going to do that for this test. I'm keeping it just exactly as the gun is provided and is sold. There's no need to make things more complicated. Sometimes you just want to see what it's like to use a Springer. I can't tell you whether those groups are good or not. I've got not a lot to compare it to. But what I will do is actually, I'm going to leave it there for this. I would be pushing my luck if I was trying to shoot anything further than 20 meters with a Springer with open sights. I'm not going to be a hero. There's no need to be. However, this is a conversation about the Diana 48. It's a extremely well-made gun. Very, very impressed. Although it looks old school and like it's from before the World War or something, in actual fact, the way the gun is manufactured and operates, I'm just going to put a pellet in because I don't want to dry fire the Springer. It feels lovely to use. Oh, that's a safety, excuse me. So I can easily hit one of those pellet traps from 20 meters away. It's not an issue, and you've got some idea of the grouping you're going to be looking to achieve at 20 meters. Bearing in mind I was going for the bullseye, that's not a bad group. That's probably the size of a £2 coin, or the group would be a bit bigger than that, but it's roughly that. But the gun feels solid. It's not missed a beat. The trigger is lovely. There's very little recoil. I would be very intrigued to see what other Diana rifles are like. It's a beautiful looking gun, but for under £400 you can get yourself started with a rifle that is just as good as anything else that's available on the market. This was a little different kind of review demonstration than we're used to, so I thought I'd give it a try. I really like using Springers, and hopefully there'll be more to feature on the channel soon. Take care, and I'll see you all soon. Bye bye.